What's up, Devoted fam, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're going to discuss the next most important thing to understand when you're working with Santísima, and that is giving her prayer. Now, some may say, I don't want to pray to her. I don't like praying. I'm non-traditional. Prayer does not mean you have to include Jesus. Prayer does not mean you have to include God or Virgin Mary or anything like that. But the prayer is not about you. It's about her. It's about connecting with her in a way that is more intimate and personal. Now, you can do her invocation. You can do her rosary. You can do her 9-day novena. You can do a thank you prayer. You can ask her for help through prayer. There are so many ways to do this, and you do not have to be traditional to do it like this, because I pray to her frequently. Now, the kind of prayers I like to do are her invocation, her thank you prayer, to thank her for everything she has done for me, and to show her that I am acknowledging all the blessings that she has given me. And then you have the more long and tedious prayers, such as the Rosary. Now, a lot of people will say, well, isn't that a Catholic thing? Well, the Rosary is a Catholic, it's a Catholic thing, yes. But there is a way to pray her rosary without including religion, God, or anything else in there. You can pray a rosary that is just for her, just honoring her to show your thanks and dedication. Now, you may ask yourself, when should I pray this rosary? How often should I pray this rosary? And that is solely up to you. You can pray the rosary before, asking for her to bring you something, or thanking her for something she has blessed you with. The rosary is a good way to show your appreciation to her, because when you pray this rosary, it is lengthy, it is repetitive, and not everybody likes to do it. And sometimes, I may feel like I don't like to do it, but that is the sacrifice in hand that you're giving her. And she knows this. You can tell yourself, oh, I love doing the rosary. Oh, it's my favorite thing to do. But thinking in the back of your mind, man, I cannot stand doing this. She knows what you're thinking. So it's better not to just, lie to yourself in thought. But the rosary is, like I said, a way of showing her that you appreciate her, because she knows you're taking the time, you're taking the energy out of your own body and giving it to her to thank her. And rosaries will make you yawn, they'll make you thirsty, they'll make you tired. There's so many different things and different ways that rosaries affect people that are devoted to her. And so I've heard so many different stories. But the rosary is probably the longest prayer you can give her, and the most tedious, but the most heartfelt and crucial one to perform. But later down the road, I am actually going to do the rosary on here and do some instruction on how it's performed if you don't know how to do it already. The rosary is very important, as I've already mentioned many times. But the next most important one is the 9-day novena. Now, some people will do this back to back for 9 days, and some people will do this every Sunday or every Friday for 9 weeks. But you will do a prayer every single day, and then there's a time where you can, depending on the reason you're doing this, you can ask her or petition her for something in every single prayer. But me personally, when I'm performing it, I do not ask her for nothing during this process. Now, going back to the rosary, what is she going to do for you if you perform this rosary? And how often should you do the rosary? The rosary can be done every day. I know devotees that do that. The rosary can be done every Sunday, right after you clean her altar. And the rosary could be done every 2 weeks to every 3 weeks to a month. It really depends. And some people do it every 3 months. And all of those are fine. It really depends on your connection with her and what you, have arranged with her. Now, when you do the 9-day novena, that is something you want to perform, on her special days or for special events, or another way to give thanks to her. Because again, it is something you have to remember to do. It is something you can't skip on, and it's something that you cannot forget. And that can sometimes prove a little bit, prove to be difficult, in other words. So when you're doing this rosary, the best thing you can do is get a rosary of Santissima. And usually these will have her image, like a medallion on it, and then a bead, and then it'll skip and it'll have 3 beads, and then you have your 3-way connector, and then you'll have 10 beads in 5 sets. And you will use those beads to count every prayer that you do. And when I do the rosary for you guys on YouTube, I am going to include the PDF of the rosary that I do, which is non-traditional, and you can follow that along with counting your beads. Because when you're doing this rosary, like I said, it's very repetitive, and it is very easy to lose your place or figure out what mystery you're on, because you're going to have a different mystery throughout the rosary, which you announce. But with any kind of prayer to her, it is going to take time. It's going to take effort. But if you can do this, you will have a far better connection with her than you did before. Now, before doing any kind of prayer to her, it is always good to light some incense or burn a candle in her honor. And if you ask yourself, why would I need to do that? It's just pure respect. It is nice. She loves incense. She loves the way they smell. It could be a pump incense. It could be a cone incense. It could be loose incense on a burning coal disc. It is up to you. But again, half-assed devoting is not devoting at all. So if you're going to do it right the first time, and don't cut corners. Because a lot of people that expect her protection, expect her blessings, they don't want to go the whole way with it. They just want to kind of cut corners, get around it, get it over with, but still feel good about themselves by doing these prayers forcefully. Now, again, I'll go back to sometimes not wanting to do it or feeling demotivated. And some people will just stop praying because they don't hear her speaking to them, or they don't feel her presence around, and it just feels empty or idle. And a lot of the times this will happen due to her actually testing you. And that will be another discussion for another video, but she does in fact test you. And just don't fail the test, because she will never leave your side. She'll never abandon you. It will take a lot of messing up. And believe me, she forgives us all for our mess ups and our mistakes, but it will take an extreme amount of, I guess, disrespect for her to even go away from you. Now, for example, we are going to make mistakes, and she understands this and she knows this. Just like a mother that loves her children, she is not going to abandon us for making a poor decision. She is going to punish us and teach us a lesson, but not in the way that most people like to portray her punishing us, like taking our lives or taking a loved one away from us or just totally ruining our life. She just tapped right now. So it's like a matter of learning a lesson, and she loves to teach us lessons. But going back to prayer, again, it's just very important that you do this. And some other tips before doing anything with your altar to pray to her: always make sure that she is higher than you. It's never good to have her on the floor. Now, some people can't help it, but put something on the floor, like raise her up. She likes to be above you. She wants you to be looking up to her when you're praying to her. And that is something I don't hear many people talking about or teaching about, but from some old school hardcore devotees, that I have socialized with, throughout the years, they have all mentioned that. And I remember having her at my level before. And when I decided to raise her higher or, bring her above me, and I sit down rather than stand up when I'm talking to her, the energy connection is far, far better. Now, right after you have done the rosary, I would say that is the best time to sit down and spend some time with her. That is the best time to tell her about your worries, your troubles, or your achievements, your success. that is the best time to spend time with her and have a talk with her. Because after that rosary, you have her full attention. I can almost guarantee it. If you went through that rosary and did everything right, you have her full attention. That is the best time to speak with her. And that's a good time too, because a lot of people like to do the rosary every Sunday or once a week, and they get to spend that one day a week with her to bring her some apples, to change out her food, to clean her altar, to spray her with something she likes that smells good, to do anything with her like that. That is when you get her full attention. Now, don't just do the rosary to get what you want. Like, okay, I'm going to do the rosary so I can get her attention and I can get that girl I like or that guy I like, or I can get that new car I want. You can promise her, to do the rosary for things that you may want. And it is up to her to decide that she wants to do that for you. One time I decided, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I really wanted a new car that I've been eyeballing for years. Something I've always wanted. So I did that rosary for months, every single day. And I told her, I don't care if I'm sick. I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if I just don't feel like it or I had a horrible day. I am going to do that rosary. And one thing I'm going to mention in this video before I cut it off, another thing I'm going to mention is making promises. Do not make promises to her that you cannot keep. I don't care if you say, oh, well, I couldn't do it or something came up. Nope. No excuse. Don't do it. Because whatever she blesses you with, she just might take that away. Don't break promises. Don't make petitions. Don't tell her, I'm going to stop smoking weed if you do this for me. And then she does it for you, and then you start smoking weed again. Or if you promise her, I'm not going to drink anymore, or I'm going to give up this bad habit. It's not that she cares what you're doing as a bad habit. It's a matter of you saying that you're going to sacrifice it. And then once you get your way with her, you stop, giving her that sacrifice. You go back on your word. And a lot of people will ask me, well, what do? I broke my promise. Well, there's not much you can do because you broke the promise. You're going to most likely pay the price for breaking that promise. You're most likely going to lose what she blessed you with. So that is why I tell people, don't make promises that you cannot keep. I know you intentionally want to promise her something worthy and great and something grand. But at the same time, if you're promising her something that you're not going to be able to keep, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Ask any devotee. Ask anybody that's been devoted for years. Now, another thing I wanted to go over before this video ends, you need to be careful where you get your information. A lot of people out there are very biased about their information. A lot of people will see other people teaching about it and getting a lot of attention or getting a lot of interaction, and they want that. And they may have just been devoted 5 months and they're teaching you things that they learn out of books. And please believe me when I say this, not all books are good books. There are more bad books with bad information out there than good books with good information. And what I also like to share with people is I don't teach my teachings from books. I teach my teachings from pure experience. And I always say, I'm only teaching you things that I have experienced myself and things that I have gone through and, pretty much, like I said, experienced myself. Because I don't want to teach something that I was told or that I learned from a book or another devotee's experience, because everybody's experience can differ. Everybody's experience or relationship with her usually is totally different. So I've been seeing a lot of people on TikTok. I'm not going to mention names, because I come from TikTok. I see a lot of people on TikTok teaching things that are not true and making claims that they have messages from Santissima, making claims that Santissima told them this or that, and or speaking for her. Now, I do get messages from her, and I'm pretty sure a lot of these people do as well, but she's going to give you messages more on a personal level. She's going to give you messages that are meant for you. She is never going to use you to tell a social media platform this or that, if that makes any sense. Now, she may come to you to deliver a message to a friend, a family member, or somebody you may be social with, but not an entire platform. So I don't know why people do that. And, not to knock anybody and what they're doing or any of their content, but you need to be careful. It burdens my mind because I know there are a lot of people out there that are just starting out and they're trying to learn. And then they go to these platforms like TikTok, or I'm not going to say YouTube more or less, because YouTube does have a lot of good, information, but TikTok is just flooded with crazy stuff, like really crazy stuff. And I'm not going to mention it because, again, I do not want to put anybody on blast. That's not my intention. I'm just telling you to be very careful where you receive your information. Because even me, I will say, look, this is my experience. This is my personal experience with it. Yours might be different. What I say works may not work for you, but it works for me. So again, be very, very careful. And don't answer people that message you in your inbox and say, I have a message from Santa Muerte and she wants to tell you this, but you need to pay me this amount of money to get a reading. No, that's not going to happen. And that is another reason why you will never see me charging for her information. Now, there are people out there that charge for dream interpretation. That's one thing. That's understandable. Or they'll charge for, to do a ritual with her. That's understandable because that takes time, energy, and materials. But, me being somebody that reads cards as well, will never reach out to somebody and be like, hey, I got a message from Santissima from coming from me to you. I don't understand that. And usually that is a big red flag for scammers, even if it's not with her name, and using just any kind of method like, hey, there's a message from the gods, or a message from Lucifer, or a message that your ancestors have. Just don't fall for that stuff. Because I get a lot of messages of people really upset about that. And not to mention one more thing too, to add to this, there is a fake account going around on TikTok that is this guy named Roman, but I think there's an underscore at the end of it. Please, if you get any messages from that account, that is not me. I only have 2 accounts. My backup account is in my link tree. So if you click on my link tree in my bio, either on Instagram or on TikTok or here, you'll see that I only have 2 accounts. And the backup account, I don't even use it. It's just there. I was told he should make a backup account, so I did. So I will not be messaging anybody for readings or spell work or any of that stuff. I don't think I have ever messaged anybody to do spell work or readings or anything like that. People, they need my services, they reach out to me, and then we go from there. But thank you for everybody that's watched the video. I know this one wasn't as, action-packed as the others, but this is just a video about prayer, about other little things I wanted to cover. But the next videos I'm going to be doing is an invocation. It's going to be a prayer playlist. That's what I'm going to do, prayer playlist. It'll have my invocation. It'll have my thank you prayer. I'm going to probably do the Rosary, which is going to take a long time, but probably be like a 30-minute, 40-minute video. But I'm going to be doing that. And I also want to do a video kind of briefly explaining how the Rosary is performed. So hopefully that will help everybody out. And I appreciate everybody that's subscribed and everybody that leaves comments and kind comments. I really love that. I love the positive energy coming from this channel. And please spread the word, help me grow. like I did on TikTok. And I thank everybody for the 14K followers. That is awesome. Honestly, never thought I was going to get there. But it means the world to me that everybody is hearing my messages. So also, you can check out my Etsy shop. You can follow me on IG, follow me on TikTok. I am selling rosaries. I am making them by hand now. I decided to take that up because I love crafting and I love making anything of her. And I wanted to get some really good quality rosaries out there, because not to knock on any of the rosaries that are circulating now, but I just been getting them to put in my shop, and they're usually just kind of, I don't know, plasticky, and they feel like they're going to break. And I want to make some nice, strong, powerful rosaries with like crystals and stuff like that. So I've been doing that, and I appreciate everybody that has bought them and bought many of them. It's really cool, but just be patient with me because I am making them by myself, by hand, and they take a lot of time, and I put a lot of effort into them. So I'm going to close this video out with this. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.